The Galactic Center is located at 26 degrees Sagittarius. And we are there now. In the heart of consciousness, beyond the realm of space and time, the cosmic power of transformation is upon us, here in the Galactic Center. It's a mystical adventure and a better way to live. Finding harmony and balance in a journey to the light that lies within. So let the psychic cruise begin. Release your mind, unwind the time. Welcome to the Galactic Center.
Hi there, I'm Saphrina. Tonight, the Galactic Center brings you all the latest news on holistic healing and spirituality from the NewLife Expo.
You can do healing in such a way and so strongly that it may look like this.
I'd like to talk to you about what it would take to do this. I am deadly serious on this. I literally want to have this be.
Welcome to the 21st century. We've just beamed over to the NewLife Expo for all the latest on stress reduction, vibrational healing, bodywork, and some ancient remedies that just might be making a comeback into the future. This is the ancient art of candling. It's making its way back into the future. I understand that it was originally devised in Egypt, and this is Michelle to tell us about it.
Yes, it was. It was originally comes from the Egyptians. There's pyramids, pictures on the pyramids of the kings and the pharaohs and the queens having candling done. It was a purification ritual for them so that they could worship their god Ra in a better fashion, so that they could open up their crown chakra. And then it passed down to the Aztecs, the Mayan cultures, India, and all the other strong cultures. And it has just been passed down through the ages, Chinese, Indians, a whole bunch of people. And now it was hidden for a long time. I find a lot of people say, oh, my grandmother or my great aunt. It appears that it skipped a few generations, but now it's coming back very strong.
Now, in addition to clearing out your crown chakra, I understand that it's also great for your hearing, or if you have wax in your ears, is the more practical application of this, yes?
It definitely is. I figure some of the peasants underneath the pharaohs figured that trick out and went, oh, we're going to use this to clear out our sinuses, pink eye, ear infections, sore throats, coughs, tinnitus, a whole wide variety, anything ear, eyes, nose, and throat. It wax. Hearing. I have a client that was deaf, sign language. She can hear now. She had to do a lot, but she can hear now, so she's very excited.
How exactly does it work?
What it does is when it's burning down on the inside, it creates a vortex, like a chimney, and it will pull it on up.
It will pull any foreign material or wax. It will pull it right up the wax funnel.
Up into here, and it'll sit into the bottom part of the cone, which is why you should never burn your cone lower than 2 to 3 inches, because you have to leave room for whatever you're pulling up to sit in there. It'll remove bacteria, mucus, fungus, wax, parasites, I've had people pull up Q-tips, glitter, feathers, kids.
My goodness, they were playing dress up, I guess. a little crazy for Halloween there.
Right, there you go. Well, children stick anything in their ears, so a lot of this stuff has come out of children's ears. But
Now, normally, normal allopathic medicine would treat that with an operation, or how is this better?
what they would do is they would go in, if you have a blockage, they'll take a silver hook and go in there and literally ram the silver hook down into your ear and pull it out, which is very painful. It scrapes the ear, causes bleeding, a whole variety of scarring. Whereas this, nothing goes in the ear. It's just a simple vacuum pulling things up into the cone. If you have ear infections, instead of getting tubes, well, it doesn't get rid of the ear infection, it gets rid of the environment in which these infections are thriving in.
Okay, let's have a look at
So
that.
you would just lift it up, extinguish it in water.
The actual material that was in her ear is what you're unwrapping now. Is that correct?
Well, everybody's ear is different. See, this came out of her ear. A lot of people say, oh, I feel clearer, more balanced. People with vertigo, feel lopsided.
What about for scuba diving?
Oh, my divers love this. My cousin, as a matter of fact, is a scuba diver. He says he can go down to depths that he's never been able to go down to before because of the pressure in his ears, and now...
Well, I guess who's your next patient? Because when I go diving, my right ear always gives me a problem.
Right, there you go.
So I'm going to try this next. For those of us who just might be ionically challenged, there is a new way to relieve the stress of electromagnetic influences. Carol, tell us about your bracelets.
Okay, our bracelets contain magnets. What the magnets do is they increase blood circulation throughout the body. We're using the north pole, or the negative field of the magnet, which is the calming, the soothing pole. So once you're wearing a magnetic item, you're going to find that your energy level will increase while your body is being able to relax, and your stress level will be reduced, and you will find that it's fantastic. By improving blood circulation, you're enabling the body to heal itself.
I understand it's also great for arthritis.
Yes, if you had any type of arthritic pain, just by merely putting a bracelet on around your wrist, you would notice a great improvement in the arthritis. What it does is, because you're increasing blood circulation, it's bringing more blood throughout the body. Oxygen is carried through the red blood cells, so it's going to be bringing more oxygen to all the tissues and cells. It will reduce the inflammation, and in doing so, it will diminish the pain.
How does it work? What is it made out of?
It's a copper bracelet that we have put 24 karat gold plating over it. We have two styles available. One has 5 Sumerian cobalt magnets in it. The other one has 4.
Tell us about your mask, Magnetic Health and Beauty Mask, something I'm sure we could all use a little help in that area.
Right. What the beauty mask does is it has 19 neodymium magnets inserted in it in various pressure point areas. All you have to do is put the mask on for a minimum of 30 minutes per day. You can wear it longer if you'd like. You can even sleep with it throughout the night. It will not hurt you to have it on longer. What the magnets do are they bring fresh blood to the face, the same way if you went to a salon to have a facial. They would massage to bring the blood to the area. By doing it this way, the magnets will bring the blood.
And you don't need an appointment.
You don't need an appointment at all. If you have the mask on, you'll notice after you remove it, after about 45 minutes, your skin will be pink, and that's the new blood brought there. It will revitalize the tissues, rebuild it, and you'll notice over a period of time that the wrinkles will start diminishing.
Made in the USA 7 million years ago. This one is called Firefalls by Peter Goodgold.
This is a nice piece. It has a look and feel of a volcanic rock. And we have, how molten magma shot out of the Earth's core millions of years ago from volcanic activity? It formed large boulders, some of them as big as a house, some of them as small as a tennis ball. We get these large boulders and we carve them to look and sound like a miniature mountainside waterfall. But this piece of Firefalls is the first rock I ever carved with an interior cave with stalactites and stalagmites that looks like going inside maybe Luray Caverns or Carlsbad Caverns. It looks like molten magma flowing out from crevices beneath the Earth's crust. That's why it's called firefalls.
And yet, I understand that this is not dry ice. What
No,
is
it's
the
not.
mist?
It's an ultrasonic misting device that vibrates water at a high frequency and turns it back into water again. But the beauty of it is not just the visual, it creates negative ions, which we know purifies the air. Now, people say negative, is that good for you or bad? Negative ions are good for you. It's the positive ions that are in cellular phones, computers, and microwaves. It gives us a little bit of stress and sometimes headaches. This is the opposite effect. This is
the best for feng shui. It's a wonderful
balance, it's harmony, and it brings peace and tranquility into your life, as well as giving you the chance to relax. You know, for thousands of years, doctors have said, go to the waters, heal yourself. Now you can bring the waters indoors to yourself.
Let me just ask you, in terms of practicality, would this be a perfect piece to have on your glass coffee table, or is it too heavy?
Believe it or not, it looks very heavy, but the rock is porous. So it's extremely lightweight, and because of its porosity, the water not only flows through the carving I do in the rock, but actually flows through the rock and creates a cleaner air environment, and also cleans the water naturally.
This one is called Spirit Mountain. Tell us about this one.
Well, it's a good name because you see the smoke coming out of the top of the caves. It's like spirits coming down the mountain. It's very spiritual, and today with the evolution of the New Age consciousness of the millennium, the Spirit Rock is a great piece because not only does it soothe your senses, it also calms your mind and soothes your soul. It's kind of like nourishing your body, expanding your mind, and nurturing your spirit all at one time. So that's why I call it Spirit Mountain. It's embellished with amethyst. It's got some citrine down here in a tray. And look at that, a little fisherman coming out of the cave here, and he's just sitting there. He doesn't care if he catches any fish or not. He's just having a moment.
And here we are on Magic Mountain.
Well, this is I always say this is our most awesome rock. It's over 23 inches tall, and on the right side it has the sound of falling water, and on the left side over here with these stalactites it has a sound of raining water. So you got two sounds going on at the same time. It's really a vibrant rock. It also has a mister underneath this bridge, and sitting on the bridge you have a set of these oriental mudmen. Now they call them mudmen because they're made in the mountaintops of China, high up in the little villages, and they're made with such detail that you can actually count the hairs on his chin, you can see his fingernails, and they're collector's items.
Well, there it is from Wild Waters and Peter, the best rock star around. Wild Waters and the best feng shui around.
Hey, when you're having fun and you can share that with others, that's when you're really living the life of Dharma.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good Dharma. It looks like a tricorder from Star Trek, but this is called a tri-light. And this is Joe to tell us how you can actually heal or feel better with light energy. How does this work?
Well, it helps the body to help itself. Nature knows what to do to heal a body. This triggers it by light energy. It generates 660 nanometers, which is the cell's vibratory rate, a healthy cell. An unhealthy cell, pain or whatever is wrong with the body, will not generate. It will generate at half the rate or less. So the blood can't circulate properly. And if the blood can't circulate properly, it can't carry away the toxins, and then tumors build up, or cysts, or pain, or whatever. So what this does, it transmits the light energy through the generator. It opens up the area, the blood is able to circulate better, and the body does its own healing, because when the blood is pure, it can carry the nutrients to where it's supposed to. It can take away the toxins, and it promotes healing. We've had over 8,000 cases of sinus problems healed. There are many cases of, you name it, we've had all kinds of problems.
And you also mentioned that it's great for jet lag.
Yes. We found out recently that they confirmed something on TV that we knew many years ago. You put it behind the knee, and there's more blood vessels there than any part of the body. And they use plain light, and they found out that they got rid of jet lag. Now, with the red light, it even goes deeper, and it'll even work faster and more efficiently than plain light.
Well, I'm going to try that next time. Thank you very much.
flickers or whistles that will drive you crazy. The cookware will do all the cooking for you. It's gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Accent the number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If all of this new life input is tapping your output, you can always check out the natural health food section for an energy boost. Or you can check into hyperspace. This is sacred geometry. The person sitting in this pyramid is having quite an experience in there. This is the inventor of the pyramid and sacred geometry, David Stoltz. Do you want to tell us about what she's experiencing?
Well, what we have here is a person that is in deep meditation under the pyramid. I'm not the inventor of the pyramid, but I do utilize
not the pyramid, but
I do utilize the form.
Maybe you were in a past life, though.
That's a possibility because I feel very attached to pyramids. And she's wearing a crown of the 12 directions. So at this particular moment, she's the center of the universe. She's holding a holy scepter. It's made up of magnets, crystals, jewels. And at this point, she is being empowered by the forces that are being activated by the pyramid. The pyramid itself is a symbol of the cosmos, and the cosmos, in conjunction with the human spirit, is a divine force.
Now, how long does she have to sit there for this to take effect, full effect?
Well, I think you have to ask her.
How long do you spend in there?
I've been spending a lot of time in there.
Are you glowing yet?
Yeah. I feel that it's enhanced my life. And
okay, I'm next.
7 capstones in the language of life: love, joy, peace, harmony, faith, devotion, and reverence. These emotions, you can use these frequencies. The highest frequency is love.
You might be familiar with the language of love, but I'm not so sure you're familiar with the language of light music. This is Preston Hunt, and he's going to tell us about sound, color, and sacred geometry.
Thank you. I've created a technology called the language of light music, and it is sound, color, and sacred geometry. And these are all frequencies. Just as color has a frequency and sound has a frequency, so does geometry as well. And these actually can be combined together to help harmonize the many systems within, through, and around our bodies. This technology here uses sound, color, and sacred geometry, and it helps connect the neurons in the brain, activate whole brain functioning. It's helping with asthma, bronchitis, seizures, dyslexia. I've got children and kids that couldn't read before, now reading comfortably.
And that's just from wearing these pendants?
Well, these actually shield from the harmful effects of electromagnetic radiation and computers, cell phones, TVs, VCRs, etc. What it does is it acts as a lens and a filter to recycle and transmute potentially harmful energies that distort our electromagnetic field. As we can see here in these pictures, this is a before and after shot with and without the jewelry, taken just a few moments later.
So the color of your aura has completely changed here.
Yes, we've got more healing, creativity, and vitality brought into the auric field, the electromagnetic field here.
I'd like to take 2 fingers and put them on your third eye, and 2 fingers and put them on your heart. And as soon as you start feeling the 2 connect, you have made the longest journey in the world. Breathe. Breathe, people. Breathe, breathe. Breathe more. It's okay. You're safe. You're safe. No, it's not a shock. It's a healing. Now. Just hold on. It hasn't finished yet. You're safe.
This is Starr Fuentes. She is a divine interventionist. We just saw a demonstration of your ability to channel the breath of God in a healing. Starr, how did you come about being able to do this?
Ever since I've been a little girl, I've sort of heard things and saw things. And when I was about 19 years old and I was just about ready to make a firm business career, I touched somebody and a tumor fell out of their body. I screamed and it fell into my hand, and I thought I had this big in my hand, and I threw it up against the ceiling. It bounced off a coffee table, rolled underneath the dresser, and the guy whose tumor it was started screaming, and we were white. And I ran out of the room, and I said, I am never, ever going to do anything like this again. Well, I went back to studying business, and another year later, there was another healing, and a year later, there was another, and I decided I'm going to learn about this. So I've lived in 13 countries with shamans, curanderos, barefoot doctors, and different types of healers, studying the ancient medicines and the divine intervention, which is much like putting your hand on somebody and opening up a quarter or a two-lane highway to God, Buddha, or Source. So a great massive energy comes in, and either their illness disappears, a tumor falls out, or nothing happens.
That is so fascinating. Now, what did that feel like for you? Did you feel the energy being channeled through you when you were working with this individual the first time, or it was just an accident and completely blew your mind?
It wasn't an accident, but it was like a wake-up call. Hello, you have something else.
You have a gift. You can do this or channel this.
Well, you know what? For years and years, I thought it was my gift. And strangely enough, this last year, I had a class of 22 people, including doctors and nurses, and I realized that it is a process I am facilitating, and all 22 people learned to do the same thing that I did. So I don't really think it's a gift. I think it's a process to opening up the space, holding a space for a split second of heaven to appear in or for someone. And people start laughing, and people don't even feel it happen, and people start jumping up and down and crying. I tell you, I had this gospel singer, and she had a breast tumor, and the lady was quite hefty. So she was very big, and we dropped a large fist-sized ovarian mass. She got up and started praising the Lord and singing. Tears were flying out of her eyes. Her body was going in 6 or 7 different directions.
It was probably the performance of her life, right?
And she was, hallelujah. Yeah. So that for me was like awe-inspiring to see so much joy at that minute. But because it isn't in our consciousness and it isn't in our belief system, for us to be touched in this miracle occur or divine intervention, the hand of God literally reaches down and touches you, people don't know how to behave.
Well, people always fear the unknown, and one of the things about this wonderful expo is to teach people and show them that this can be a normal occurrence. You can learn to do this yourselves. If you you teach this. Where are you teaching?
I am teaching in Texas, and my phone number is 409-894-3447, and I have a class in April and September. I have medical doctors that come and study with me.
They should.
Yeah,
conventional medicine, allopathic medicine, is not only costly, time-consuming, but then the person is taking all these antibiotics afterwards, and they're bedridden, and it's a whole month out of their lives. And it's wonderful to understand that sometimes you may not need to do this.
And you don't need, you need what you need.
You need what you need.
This is another choice.
Starr, can you tell us metaphysically, how do you explain this?
Imagine that most people walking around have a pencil-thin connection to Source, whoever their Source is. And you meditate and you eat well, and this pencil-thin connection is cleared, and it's strong, and it's potent. What happens with people who do divine intervention is their connection becomes two-lane highway size. So, number one, the amount of Source that
that flows down. The quality and quantity of source that flows down is immense. It happens for 1/32nd, 1/16th of a second, because that's about all we can handle. And what happens is all that isn't vital in your body ceases to exist, and it comes out into the physical plane. So when doing cancer sometimes, and somebody had eaten some pennies when they were a kid, I've touched someone and the tumor came out and so did the pennies. So because this is something that...
A foreign object that wasn't vibrating properly.
So basically what happens, you learn divine intervention by expanding the connection, the column to God, the source. And that's why when there is that much energy in the room, that's why a tumor can fall out, that's why people can go into spontaneous remission.
How do you explain the rare occurrences when it doesn't work?
Soul lesson.
A lesson for the soul, right? That they're supposed to go through the illness, that there's information there for them to learn from.
And I also would like to have a T-shirt made that would say, "I'd rather be right than happy." A lot of people would rather die than be wrong.
Right.
So if they say, you know, I'm going to show my husband, I'm going to suffer and die, and that's their point, they die.
Well, they have other issues to deal with. They're very blocked.
And I'm going to tell you, it's not 100%. And what happens is it works.
Right.
And that's what's amazing to me. And I've done this for about 40 years, and now I'm teaching people. And what amazes me is that people can be taught, and they're in their own offices all over the United States touching people, and the people are healing. For me, the miracle is that I can teach it. For them, the miracle is they can do it.
They can do it. Thank you so much. What a blessing for the planet. And this is the New Millennium Man that made it all happen. This is Mark Becker. How many years have you been doing expos?
Oh, I've been doing expos since 1976 and NewLife Expo since 1991.
And this is one of the best ones that I've been to. Quite a turnout here today.
Thank you. This is the best one we've had so far.
And I understand that you're also doing something for the homeless.
So yesterday, if people came in and brought in 2 cans of food, we donated it to a corporation called We Are Family. And they feed the homeless in the Upper Bronx and in Lower Westchester. So they came and we blew them away. I mean, they came in and they took out 14 crates of food. They were overwhelmed. They have to come back today and tomorrow because we have a whole room filled up with food still.
So if people brought 2 cans of food, they had free admission to this wonderful event. You're doing such great work here on the planet, Mark. Terrific.
Well, thank you. Yes, they got them free to the panels, they got them free to the lectures, they got free into the exposition, and it gave them a chance to help us help the people.
That's the New Millennium News from the NewLife Expo. Reporting from Midtown Manhattan, I'm Saphrina. Well, that's it for tonight's show. We hope that you've enjoyed it. Please feel free to call and contact any of the guests that you've seen here this evening. Have a great week, a little heaven on earth. We'll see you next time.
For information, make contact with the Galactic Center.